Hello everyone, my name is Devansh Nirmal and today I am going to discuss about the processor the TMS34010, an embedded microprocessor. And as we all know that processor is capable of some kind of processing. So this processor is capable of graphical processing. Okay, so it is likely to be a first graphical processing unit. Okay, so this is the processor which is capable of processing the graphics. Okay, so let's jump into it. So this is the what is the history of this processor. So it is developed in Texas Instrument and released in 1986, right? So it was established in 1986, right? So first programmable GPU processor integrated circuit. So as I said earlier, it is the first programmable graphic processing integrated circuit, right? So let's talk about TMS34010. What is it? So it is combination of CPU and that is later called by GPU. So as we say, all processors have this kind of CPUs and GPUs like that. So it is the CPU and that it will be later called by GPU, right? So it is it serves both purpose in a number of high profile arcade games beginning in 1988's NARC and also Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam. So as we have discussed, this TMS processor is TMS processor is likely to be used in arcade games that we are used to play in our childhood, right? So that we at that time we don't know that what is the scene behind these games, right? So it is the TMS processor which is running that games so smoothly, right? And there is another game, this is hard driving, which is released at on 1989 from Atari Games, contains two of the processors, right? So it contains two processors. So what has TMS 34010 in it? So what is the main feature, what is the main features and what can be in it, right? So the TMS 34010, it is a bit addressable and 32-bit processor with two register files, right? So as we all know, the processor came in 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bit, and nowadays it goes up to 128 bits, right? So it is the 32-bit processor with two register files, and each register file have contains 15 registers each, right? So it is like this whole process contains 30 registers. Like register will store the data and fetch the store the data, and then now it will process further, right? So the support two-dimensional bitmaps, arbitrary variable with data, conversion of pixel data to different bit depths, and arithmetic operation on pixels, right? So it is arbitrary variable with data. It contains, right, and conversion of pixel data to different bit depths. So that there is the pixel data which we know there is a pixel in our screen, right? So every pixel has a data. So that pixel data will have to convert in some kind of language that this processor can understand, right? So this will processor will convert that thing also, and it will also doing the arithmetic operations on these pixels, right? So positions in bitmap can be specified either as xy coordinates or as address. So in bitmaps we can say like it we have x and y coordinates, right? So we can specify these coordinates, or we can say it is the addresses, right? The TMS 34010 is capable of executing any general purpose program, and it is supported by NC compliant C compiler, right? So it is many of the processor are not programmable in C compiler, right? But this TMS 34010, it is capable to programming in C compiler, right? So we can program, we can use our logic and do programming in C language in TMS 34010, right? The most of the arcade games that I used in processor were written in native assembly language, not in C. So many of the, as we have discussed, many of the arcade games which are based on this processor, but in spite of that we that that processor is capable to program in C, but but further that it is assignment in assembly language, right? So what kind of design of TMS is, right? So the design of TMS 304 was led by Kurt Gutak, who was previously worked on the Texas Instrument TMS 9918 video chip, right? So it was led by Kurt Gutak, right? So development took place in TI facilities in Bedford, UK, and Houston, US. So as we can see, there will be some designs from UK, there will be some designs ideas from US, and they both get assembled. So we have the TMS 34010, right? So TI followed the processor TMS 34020 can be used with the floating point coprocessor to render three-dimensional graphics. We are going to discuss this TMS 34020 in this PPT itself. So for this design, we can say it is the combination of US and UK, right? So you can see this picture. This picture is real TMS 34010. Sorry, 34010. So it is like this is the real picture of the processor, right? So this is the diagram. We have seen the picture from the outside of the processor, right? What is the inside in this processor? So this is a diagram. So there are some input output registers, there are some cache memories, there are some fetch and decode. We know that every processor has 3 cycle: fetch, decode, and execute. So this is the same. This has no difference. So some of the portion will be fetch the data, some of the portion will decode the data, and some of the portion will execute that data, right? So this is the flow of this embedded microprocessor. So it will be applied on computing, it will be computers in other domains, it will be used in computer in other domains, right? So personal computers and PC applications, we can use this processor in PCs and PC applications itself. We are not using this processor nowadays because we have that capable and more powerful processors, but we can use this processor, right? And it is also used in microprocessor. That is the but obvious thing. So what is the use of TMS 34010, right? So TMS 34010 was used in professional language video accelerator cards for IBM PC compatibilities in early 1990s. So this is the GPU processor, right? So we all know what is a GPU, right? So GPU will used for video editing and video creation and so on, right? So this has the no difference. It is capable of video acceleration card and for IBM PCs, right? In early 1990s. It was also used for arcade games that we used to play in our childhood. As we have discussed earlier, that it is all the arcade games, no, not all the arcade games, but most of the arcade games that we used to play in our childhood, which is based on this processor, right? So here I have shown the games that is based on TMS 34010. Narc, it is 1998, Smash TV 1990, Trog 1990, Strike Force 1991, Super High Impact 1991, Terminator 2 1991, Total Carnage 1992, Mortal Kombat 1992. So we can see that is it was established in 1986, right? So from the 1996 to 1998, that is the 1998 in first game, it has launched on this processor, right? And 1998 to 1996 and 1998, so there are some 10 or 12 years it has ruled this arcade games area, right? So there are some successors of this TMS 34010, right? There are some updated processor on this processor, right, based on this processor. So TMS 34020, it is one of the successor of this 34010. So what has it had? So several enhancement and special graphics floating point coprocessor. So it will contain several enhancement and special graphics, right? And now there is a further processor. This is TMS 34082. It has the primary function as TMS 34082 is allowed the TMS340 architecture to generate high quality three-dimensional graphics. So as we all know, the world is going to in 3D, right? So it is possible to make a GPU or make a game, right, in TMS34082 in three-dimensional graphic units, right? So thank you very much. This is it from my side. If you have any question, then do let me know. Comment in comment section. Like, thank you very much.